dear Ayurveda enthusiasts, and welcome to my channel Vanishri Ayurveda. Today we are going to talk about another very routinely observed symptom, which is joint pain, or when it happens over and over again, it turns into arthritis, right? Like long-term chronic inflammation of the joints. This is again going to be a two-part video. In the first part, we are going to talk about how Ayurveda looks at arthritis or joint pain and what are the factors responsible for it. The part two of this video is going to be how Ayurveda can help and what things you can implement in your daily routine to avoid the pain or to at least subside the pain so you can go on with your day. So let's start with the part one of this video where I'm going to talk about what joints are made of according to Ayurveda. The joints in Ayurveda are a vata tissue in the body. What is vata? Vata is the air and ether element, right? If you look at the joints anatomically, the joints are made of hollow structures. They're hollow from within, they're very, very light, they have holes in them. And that means they have a lot of air and ether element in them. And because they naturally have a lot of air and ether element in them, they're also susceptible to getting imbalanced by vata, that is air and ether element. So the air and ether element can really get lodged in different places very easily in the joints or in the bones. If you look at the qualities, they are hollow, they are light, they are very, very airy in nature, right? Because it's a vata site in the body, you can also think of it as your joints are never straight, right? Like we're never like standing like a scarecrow, right? They're always curved, and this air that is moving around in the body has tendency to slow down in your joints and has tendency to get stuck in those places more, and that's why movement of joints is very, very essential. Ayurveda also talks about joints as an Asthidhatu, which is a tissue in your body. And this tissue is not just separated from any other part in your body, it's very much linked to other tissues in your body, like your nervous tissue, that is your Majja Dhatu, your Medha tissue, that is your adipose tissue, that is fat. And if you do not have enough fat in your body, that will affect your joints, or if you have too much fat in your body, that will also affect the movement of the joints, because it will put a lot of pressure on the joints. So the amount of fat that is in your body also determines the joint health, right? This means that your tissues are very, very deeply connected to each other. And in Ayurveda, tissues are formed in succession one after the other. There are 7 important tissues in our body, which is lymph, blood, muscles, fat or adipose tissue, bones, bone marrow, and sperm or egg. Now, since we are talking about the bone tissue, that is the Asthidhatu today, the bone tissue health is going to be very much dependent on the tissue health that of the tissues above it. So if your bones need to be healthy, the tissues before production of the bones need to be healthy too. That means your lymph, your blood, your muscles, your fat, everything needs to be healthy. If your rasadhatu, that is your lymph, is not healthy, the dhatus that are going to be produced after that are also going to be hampered, or they are going to not be forming well in your body, and that's going to affect the production of the bone tissue similarly. So having a good quality or healthy quality tissue production or tissue nutrition, I would say, in your body is very, very essential according to Ayurveda. Now let's look at the pathogenesis of how arthritis or joint pain might occur in a person. We're here, the pathogenesis more about the arthritis, like how the chronic inflammation keeps on happening over and over again. So Ayurveda says majority of the diseases originate from your gut, and your agni, that is your digestive fire, if that is not healthy, it's not able to produce it's not able to process whatever you're eating, and in that process you're creating a lot of digestive toxins, that those are called ama in Ayurveda. This ama, if it stays in your gut, it's fine. But if you are following a very vata aggravating diet and lifestyle, this vata is going to push these digestive toxins out of your digestive system and spread them all over the body. And then if your joints are a weaker part in your body, this ama tends to get lodged in those places and cause chronic inflammation. So this is one pathogenesis that Ayurveda talks about. The other is how the disease forms with improper nutrition to the tissues, which we already looked at. So there are 2 points that we need to focus on if you have arthritis or joint pain: is your digestive fire healthy, and the second is, are your tissues getting proper nutrition? Okay. So we are going to learn a little about what are the signs and symptoms of specific doshic type of arthritis. Now, we know there are 3 doshas in Ayurveda: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and each dosha would have a certain quality to it. Similarly, that type of arthritis would have certain specific symptoms related to it. Now, if you have a Vata type of arthritis, you would see that you can hear cracking and popping from the joints. The joints are very, very cold to touch. The pain aggravates on movement, and it's also there is a very specific point tenderness. Like you can show, oh, it's hurting here, or maybe here. Like you can show with a point that it's hurting at a specific point. If it's a pitta type of inflammation, chronic inflammation, or a pitta type of arthritis, pitta is made of fire and water elements, so you would have symptoms like that. The joint would be really, really red and inflamed to touch, very hot to touch, or warm to touch. You can see redness on the joint or on the skin covering the joint. You will always have persistent pain. So movement or no movement would not make any difference. The pain would be there persistently. The third is kapha type of arthritis. The symptoms in kapha type of arthritis would be the joint would be very, very stiff, and there would be a noticeable swelling over the joint. Also pitting edema, where you press the joint and the finger mark stays in when you press the joint. That's very, very kapha type of inflammation, or kapha type of arthritis. The joint is also cold to touch. It's cold and clammy, like as if sweaty. And the movement actually helps with the pain. So in a kapha type of arthritis, if you move around, if you do some gentle joint rotations, some gentle exercises, it will actually help with the pain. So these are some of the signs and symptoms of the doshic type of arthritis, and how you can pinpoint exactly what type of arthritis you have, because Ayurveda is a very individualized system of medicine. It would not say, okay, you have arthritis, just keep on taking pain medication and you'll be okay, or just address the inflammation and you'll be okay. But what kind of inflammation are you having is very important to understand. So this is covering the basics of arthritis according to Ayurveda, and in the next video, that is the part 2 of the video, we will be talking about how Ayurveda can help in relieving the pain, and what all things you can do in your routine life to help subside the pain. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I would recommend you to subscribe, and then I'll see you in the part 2. Bye.